Hey, YouTubers and friends, how's everybody doing tonight? Literally just before we went on, tornado sirens going. Judy's like, you better hit the show. I'm like, show hasn't even started. The show must go on. Yeah, the show must go on. Everybody, welcome to another Tuesday Night Hangout Live. If this is your first time here, I'm Ed Marvin, host of this show for 8 years now. Uh, June will be our 9th year anniversary for this particular show on my channel. Uh, if you're not subscribed and you want to get active in that live chat with all those great people, you do need to be a subscriber of chat. It's just the way I do things, but if you want to chat, you have to subscribe, and I hope you do, and I hope you stick around for much more. Um, Ohio Relicaner, how you doing? Hola, mi amigo de Villa. ¿Cómo está usted? Bien, bien. Larry, 5 Mile Relic Hunter, good to see you. Let me see. That tornado is rude. Right. He should have known. Don't do it on Tuesday nights by my house. And, and I hope it don't come your way either, Bill. So, uh, Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator. Hobo Rob, how you doing? I haven't got them yet, but I'll save them for a mail call or something when I do. So tonight, as the title says, we have Adam from Nice Guys Prospecting. And if you notice the spelling of that, you know it's geological. And I'm sure we'll get into behind the name and all that. And no, Aquadonkey, my friend, we never forget our animals. Like our lurkers, we love our lurkers and we love our animals, right? Nice video, by the way, with Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. Took him out, showing them the way, bringing them over to the dark side. Good man, good man, good man. Not trackers, lurkers. What's this? Freegoldback.com. Not a scam. Get a free half gold back. Really? Not a scam, huh, Bill? Check it out, Mr. Lodak. Put out a link. But I trust Bill. I'm not the one that choked him at the gold show. Oh, train tracks. No. But nothing new in the news except I'm getting close to this job, but let me tell you, Murphy has a way of showing up on the mining site, on the prospecting site, and on the job site. But will we get it all done sooner than later? And I guess my next job is an hour away instead of an hour and a half away. But hey, it is what it is. I signed up for this job, so it is what it is. Okay. Do anything more important say? I was kind of rushed today. Kind of rushed, got home late, ate late, got my guest in here kind of late. We talked a little longer than normal sometimes, but nah. We had a good talk. Looking forward to a good show, and I hope you are all too. Hit that like button, and as Lila Williams would say, hit it hard. And don't go away because Adam and I will be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Excellent, Hobo Rob. I'm glad you like the snuffer bottle, and thank you for your service, my friend. Gentleman Prospector, Mama Bird, great seeing you in my live chat. Welcome, Adam. Welcome to Tuesday Night Hangout Live.
Hello, everyone. How we doing? Thanks for having me, Ed.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody out there is doing well. So, we were talking about parts of Mass and stuff where I lived and where you lived and stuff. A lot of mighty fine mass holes out there, you know.
It's an interesting place. I always know when I'm close to home when the people start driving like assholes. Yeah.
I remember the first time I went into Lynn rather, with my friend Mark I was telling you about. They there were people driving half on the curb and half in the street, going over a bridge and stuff. And I thought Southern California drivers were nuts. Just like,
Oh no, it's a free for all. Yeah, it's a lot of defensive driving, you could say.
oh yeah, you're become a very good defensive driver in New England. Brian Wilder in the house. How you doing? No golden mask. That's because you found it all, you and Adam. Jake, good seeing you. Brian Wilder, always good to see you. Well, it's good seeing all you guys, always. Always good. Even the lurkers, because you never know who's lurking in my live chat. We've had people like Dan Hurd lurking, Two Toes, Pioneer Polly, Flower Gold Wizard. So, not to name drop or nothing, and guy, we have people like DB here and Jake and Kim Gentleman Prospector and Mr. Lodak, the world's greatest moderator, at least in my chat. Terry Marshall, good to see you. Andrew, if you're lurking, I hope you're well, brother. Sorry if I pay attention to the audience here and there. Adam.
Ah, you're fine.
Now, out of all of New England, Adam, I want to know before I get into anything else, what's your favorite state in New England, Prospect?
So far, New Hampshire, but my experience only goes back as far as last June. So
Okay.
New York, so New York, that's not exactly New England, but right there with us. Absolutely
Right.
useful. Massachusetts, I haven't done exactly much prospecting. I heard Western Mass is all right, but so far between Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, I've had the best, most consistent success, I think, in New Hampshire. Primarily middle New Hampshire, White Mountains, Bath, Lisbon area.
Okay. Are you going up to the rendezvous in May?
The Maine, yeah, and the one in this spring here coming up in May, absolutely.
Yeah, the spring one's in Bath, New Hampshire. The fall one's in Bryan, Maine, right?
Yeah, Byron, Maine. Yeah.
Byron, not Brian. Doggone it. I what's that? Vermont is tops. Vermont's beautiful, just their regulations kind of.
I've heard the best gold comes out of Vermont, and they actually have lode gold in Vermont, but I just haven't had much experience of where to go yet.
Well, actually, from the history I've looked into, all three of those have lode gold, besides glacial deposits too.
Yeah.
Now, me personally, the best gold I've seen, not that I found, that I've seen, has come from Maine. I won't drop any names who it is, Brian Wilder. But
after last year's fall rendezvous, I would say the same. The biggest gold I've seen has come out of Maine. It was found years ago, but it was found in Maine.
Some nice stuff. Brian's like, no gold in Maine. Yeah, because it all went through your sluice box.
Yeah. I would say, from what I've read, I would say Maine is a lot more glacial gold than anything.
Could be. But at least it isn't like Ohio, where I know for a fact all our gold is glacial.
Yeah.
But we're a lot more like Maine and New Hampshire, where we can still dredge up to 4-inch here. Indiana, you can dredge up to 5-inch. So,
Look at things though.
But we don't worry about coming here. We have no gold. No.
Yeah. I think
I have come to not believe anyone who says we have no gold here, especially if it's coming out of someone's mouth like American Prospector or something.
Yeah. I always find it too bad. I spend most of my summers now in the Adirondacks, and there's just absolutely nothing in New York. Not to mention the supposed King's Law and all the rest. But from what I've read, it's just there was like an ice dome over most of the Adirondacks during the glacial movement, so it kind of just went around it, and then there was no gold deposited into New York during the last ice movement. Apparently, everything just went around. So it's just besides the rules, New York is just pretty much useless unless you're out towards Buffalo and the Finger Lakes area, south of that maybe. But it's too bad.
You have Herkimers in New York.
Yeah, the natural, they're silica diamonds, but they're still diamonds.
Well,
those are fun. My uncle is he's real big into gem hunting. That's pretty much his life, and his daughter Sarah. That's all they do is gem hunt all around.
Oh, nice.
But through talking with them recently, I unfortunately at a family funeral, but my uncle passed recently. But either way, they were telling me down in Rentham, which is close to where I live, they've been gem hunting, but found a lot of like malachite, copper, high mineralized areas in the quartz that they're looking for amethyst. So it's just, I've heard locally that there has been some gold found in the Franklin area just north of that was encrusted in amethyst. So I'd like to check that out anyway. So got some decent leads coming up. But it is kind of interesting to find that Massachusetts, the one spot that they did have a decent gold mine for a few years, not really high producing, but there was gold there. It was found in the purple quartz amethyst. So that'd just be cool to see, even if you find the tiniest piece, you know.
Yeah, that would be.
Probably make for some expensive jewelry.
Someone let me know if you see Prospector's Theory in the chat, because I'd pick his head about stuff like that.
I've learned a lot from even before I actually got boots on the ground. So like I'd say for about the last 7 years, I've been watching all of Adam's videos, and I'd say him and the Flower Gold Wizard and Jeff Williams is probably, and the Hit Bee is probably the ones that got me into it the most. It's like Adam and the Hit Bee is primarily like who I watch the most to figure out where to go, kind of thing.
Well, they're in your area, so yeah.
Yeah. That's what Adam's got a lot of good videos with just showing how to use the MRDS and like how to overlay maps and things. Yeah, just I'm good with my hands, but when it comes to computers, yeah, I was stressing just getting this camera going today.
Looks good.
But I'm still born in the 80s. I don't really like this tech stuff.
Well, it ain't too bad. Take it from an old dude who was born in the 60s.
Yeah. Which is it's funny. My brother he's completely opposite. He is very tech based. He writes code for a living, and he gets paid well doing that stuff. But it's the speed that he actually types. I can't even pretend to type that fast. It looks like something out of something comical. It's funny. The difference between the two of us.
I thought I typed all right. Dot, hello, Annie. Scott, Bent Fork, good to see you. Did I see Heath in here too? He's a New Yorker. He does a lot in New Hampshire or Vermont. He'll be up at the rendezvous coming up in May. Oh, for the life of me, I always butcher your name, Curmudgeonneck. I always they live in Alaska. They have a nice inn. Curmudgeon, Alaska.
Yeah.
They get their mail from a train and stuff. They have to wait in the middle of BFE for a train to go by, get their supplies and stuff. Good channel, good people. But for the life of me, I can't say their name properly. I
always found it fun in upstate New York, where I visit sometime, or I'll spend a lot of time. There's horse parking at the Walmart, and it's just like you would never have that in Massachusetts. It's just funny, people bringing their horse to Walmart.
Well, here in my neck of the woods, in some parts, you'll see carriages and horses in Walmart and going down the road and stuff.
Oh yeah, the Mennonites and things, right? Yeah.
We have quite a few Amish. Yeah, at least the Mennonites are more in the 21st century. They'll drive.
Yeah. Yeah, they at least have phones and lights on their carriages.
Right.
Yeah, we buy a lot of our firewood from the Mennonites in upstate New York. Or my good friend Prospector Dave. I helped them years ago wire their camp that they've had in their family for like 100 years in the Adirondacks. And that's how I got to know Dave and his family. So I've been hanging out there for a while. But yeah, now every year we get our wood from the Mennonites. But they're hardworking people. Interesting way to live.
Hard. Very hard. Got an update. It's black to the north of us, everybody. tornado sirens are now off. So lots of lightning. Do you hear her? Can't you read the sign, honey? It says live. You hear that? She don't care. She was. Oh, yeah, we're good. Hi, Joyce. Yeah, probably. Or at least enjoying the lightning. Sorry, everybody. Jeez. So, a little about you, Adam.
All right.
First, how did you first get bit by the gold bug?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of just been dwelling on me, I'd say, for since about high school. I moved from Southern Mass to the Quincy area around like my high school years, and for whatever reason, I've just always been looking at these certain road cuts, and then through basic research as like a young kid, like overthinking everything. It's just like I've heard stories of there's possible gold here and all the rest. Come to find out, you need a microscope just to see it. But as a young kid, it's always been on my mind. Blah 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 blah. And then either way, I guess over time with watching Adam Samako's videos and just basically, I never really had time for it. And as of the last couple years, big changes in life kind of thing, doing other things. So I wanted to try new things and keep myself busy, I guess. So
Right.
I tried it last year once, and just like once I saw the first piece kind of thing, the first time I ever went last year was, I believe, June. We went to Buffalo Brook in New York, and we were only there for about an hour. It was just, we were driving from Mass to upstate New York to do some work at my friend Prospector Dave's camp. We stopped for an hour and we just had fun doing it. So, I mean, I think the biggest thing that really got me into it was the equipment. It's just, I enjoy building things. So it's just once.
Yeah, I've noticed some of your battery pack boxes and stuff, and
Yeah, I'm charging my laptop with one right now.
how much do you sell those for?
Well, it's funny you say that. That is version 3. Yeah, that's version 3. I'm on version 4 at the moment, and I was basically I've been trying to. There's versions that are simplified. There's versions with too much. So basically, what's going to be the BB5 RS model is going to be a model that has a remote, but it's kind of simple. Either way, I basically, after a lot of trial and error, I've found it's going to be somewhere around $150, because to make it with the amount of options that I want, basically having the pump controller with the trail lights, basically, so if you're walking down the trail, you can hit lights in the front there, kind of thing.
Oh, geez, look at
Yeah.
that.
As well as having your remote, either way. So you'll have your quad USB charger, your pump that's on a remote, and your trail lights. All those parts together are just under $100, and then it's like 2.5 hours for me putting it together, building the wiring harness, and then all the stay-cons for it. And either one can be, depending on which one you want, they're either 20-volt Milwaukee or 20-volt DeWalt. Technically 18-volt Milwaukee, but they say it's 18-volt. It's actually 20.
Well, here's the closest thing I have to it right here.
Yeah, exactly. Those adapters are actually in the box for anything, pretty much.
And there's my control there for the voltage. So.
Yeah, those are neat. Nice and cheap and easy.
It does what I want. Seems to last quite a while. So you don't have like a larger lithium battery in there or something. It's all with
No, I use
the Walter Milwaukee.
Yeah, I use either the 8 or the 12 amp battery, and I've never run out of battery before using it all day. So
Nice, nice.
I use
Now,
a typical 1100 gallon pump.
okay, nice.
I think the one key feature for it I have this year on my own high banker, because I always overdo things myself, is motion detected. Because there's a lot of times when I'm going back and forth to the high banker and you kind of want to just shut it off or whatever, but you might forget about it. You just want to overrun it. So it's basically going to, if I'm standing in front of it, it'll stay running. But if I walk away for more than 45 to 60 seconds, it'll shut itself off. So thought that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I've noticed some of your toys you've made and your cleanup slews you've made.
Yeah. Ironically enough, that's actually holding up.
Holding up your camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the XP3. This version here. Once again, I'm actually on the 5th model of this now. The XP5 is the one I want to sell to the masses. Now that I have this vendor over here, or a break as they're supposed to be called,
Nice.
I should be able to make these cheaper. Or basically, you can hook up a hose to it, or this model that I wanted to be able to sell, but altogether, I'd have to sell this model for over 200 because this actually has an internal motor as well. So if you were to pull out the wire and the hose inside it, you can just plug it in like a cleanup buddy. But
Right.
if you're out in the fields and you already use your high banker, now you got a pan full of cons, you just plug this hose into your high banker hose, and you just run this as a mini cleanup sluice.
Right.
But anyway, I mean the DreamMat cleanup buddy is a great unit, and they actually have a bigger unit that's kind of similar to this. But I think the best thing about
the boss.
it's the 3D print. It's all right. I mean, I just don't trust anything 3D printed, especially around myself. I break everything, and this, this is a.
Well, I have the cleanup buddy there. I didn't get the boss, but I have the switchback here. There's pros and cons to 3D printing, but
I think
metal
I think
you can
picks the switchback. I ironically called one of my first high bankers the switchback because I made a switchback version of my high banker, and about 2 months later they came out with their switchback version of their cleanup buddy. Probably obviously not for me, but I thought that was funny.
All high bankers are essentially switchbacks.
Exactly, yeah.
So, Chris, how you doing, Goat? Good seeing you.
But coming back to this though, if things go well, because my friend Prospector Dave, he's up in New York, and we know this place Ray Steel. The guy's actually, his name's not Ray, but it's called Ray Steel. But either way,
right.
We actually asked him about the box shovels. I don't know if you saw any of the videos. I was trying to make box shovels, and the biggest thing is in the back. There's a little piece that I call the sunglasses, like basically the box. The back of the shovel needs to be cut out, and it looks like a pair of sunglasses. So he's actually going to use his water jet cutter and cut those out for us. So it would speed up the process and make the shovels cheaper. And at the same time, if I were to buy the aluminum from him, I could make these cheaper. And with the brake, I'm hoping to get these down to about 100, 150 bucks as well. So, because right at the moment they're around 200, but things are looking good for the.
What initially perked my interest in your channel, Adam, is your do-it-yourself stuff. Speaking of, hey, Coulter Young, how you doing? And Scott, if you're coming to Ohio, get a hold of me. Probably getting hold of Aqua Donkey, aren't you? Get a hold of me. Now, do you dredge or anything too?
I haven't got into that yet. I was thinking about. I got a couple interesting ideas on that, but I have I have like my other obsessions is like mini bikes and like building small engine things. So I got a lot of small engines kicking around. So I was thinking about maybe building some kind of dredge myself. Or I was more actually looking into sniping this year because with Amazon making everything in the world so much cheaper, they have these little breathing kits that are battery powered that you can pretty much scuba dive by hose for a couple hours on a Milwaukee battery. So it's
Yeah, they're a little cheaper than like the blue Nemo or the the blue Nemo or
yeah, the blue and orange looking one. I think you're talking. I've seen
it's called Blue. The company's Blue, and they make the Nemo and the Nomad, and it's battery operated, has a float with the Diver Dan flag,
yeah,
and it lasts up to like 45 minutes or something like that. But I know there's cheaper versions. Sniping's very a good way to get some nice gold.
yeah. I'd like to get in
Remember,
the tougher areas, just primarily in the areas that I'm looking. You know, it's dug through every year, so trying to find predominantly glacial gold in an area that's picked through every year, you're not going to really find much. So if you can get in the areas that most people don't want to touch, you know, might have better luck, I guess.
I remember the first time I met that Brian Wilder guy. It was up in uh, Coolidge State Forest, or we stayed at Coolidge State Park
Yeah,
in the campground. It was a little outing that Adam put together, and we were doing some prospecting on Broad Brook. And Brian, I think, hey, Brian, didn't you have your face in the water the whole time we were there? You probably know Ron Adams from Run for the Hills Prospecting. He's also out of Massachusetts.
sounds familiar. I'd probably recognize the face if he hangs out with Adam Samako. It's like so that whole crew there. I don't really know their names, but
Well, I'm sure he hangs out with like Mojo and
oh yeah,
Adam stuff. I believe he might even go up a bit into where Thomas and Wes go a bit also. I know he's fairly active in Thomas's and Wes live chats for their live streams and
yeah.
their premieres. Yeah, see
I
Brian's
should
like,
come back to Beast Premiere every Wednesday. They get a good group going now.
oh yeah, they do. Um, there's quite a few of them here actually, probably. But I back to 3D printing stuff.
Yeah,
I I do like it, and it's pretty cool. Like my little guest, what was it last week? Scott.
yeah.
Um, he's from Vermont, and he's really into 3D printing. So, but
I think the whole idea of it is awesome. It's just for me, it's the whole using of the computer to make it work. It's just then I have to get along with my brother. So
Coulter is quite a genius when it comes to some 3D printing stuff right there.
really,
Uh, I really like his what is it, Coulter? The oh, Tom has one now. The wheelie bug, oh, wheelie bug or something. It's a magnet that spins that you could separate your
yeah,
gold
yeah,
from a pan, and he has the black sand and separator,
yeah. When it goes
magnetite
one way, the way.
separator. Yeah, where the good dirt will be here and the magnetite over here. spins
Yeah, I've
around.
seen those. Yeah.
I'm just a poor white boy and I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Sam, how you doing? Say hi to Jim for me.
Howdy. Yeah, I'd like to get into more of the 3D printing. I have one here at the house. It's probably never, like, my brother and I kind of went in on it together, but I haven't really gotten into it myself yet. I'm kind of wondering if something like this could be printed out of it. That'd be, make it even cheaper, kind of thing. I mean, it's fairly simple. Just a hollow box with
Oh,
water
I
side.
bet you could. I
Let's
bet
see why
you
not.
could. And
The most
so,
expensive thing on here is pretty much the mat by itself.
right? And with they're getting better and better filaments too that are a lot more durable.
Yeah, they even have I've seen the rubber filaments now. You can actually, not that you would be able to print DreamMat legally, but it's stuff like that. They have like rubber 3D printed things now. I've seen rather interesting. I've seen guys doing it for something on a car. He was making some kind of waterproof gasket, but I was surprised there was flexible 3D printing.
My friend David Villa was wondering, is your cleanups list on the market, Adam?
Currently, new, but the spring rendezvous this year, I will have. I'm hoping at least 3 of the next model, which is going to be the XP5, which will look 100% like this. It just won't have the internal pump. It's just going to be the rear pump. It's going to come with a short hose and then the longer hose for using it elsewhere. So I haven't come up with an exact price for that yet because, like I said, Prospector Dave and I are shopping around for the metal. Because at the moment, getting the metal from Home Depot, it's like $25 for the base, and then the screws, and then this is a tiramisu pan that I get off of everyone's favorite jungle site there, Amazon. That's $22, something like that. The mat, cutting that out, that's like $25 just for that tiny little mat, just because of the length of it. If it was only 12 inches, I could get it for 15, but I need the extra length. And then there's the pump kit that comes with this and the hose. That's another $25. So it adds up quick. So I don't exactly have a price for it yet, but I'm hoping the target price will be around $150 by May at the rendezvous. I'll be bringing 3 of these, five of my BBs, 5 of these, which is going to be the BB5 RS model. And I'm hoping to bring at least 10 of the box shovels as well, of each size, small and large.
I kind of like that box shovel too. And in your in the garage Mondays or whatever.
Yeah, Mondays. I'm hoping to get more into Moto Mondays. I got a lot of automotive projects I need to get into. Like specifically, my own vehicle it was a nice truck at one point. I picked up just recently, really cheap for only a couple thousand. It's a Lincoln Navigator, which back in 2008 when it was made, I actually used to work at a Ford dealership, and these were the trucks I drooled over. And now, 18 years later, I can afford it for $3,000. But it's got 250,000 miles on it. It needs some help, but it looks nice. Yeah. So
Joyce said she'll look for you at the spring rendezvous.
Absolutely, we'll be there. I'm hoping to bring all kinds of things for people. Primarily the things that are just hard to find, and just especially these boxes. As ironic as this, I use this thing everywhere in the garage, and this thing's always next to my bed because it's just easier to charge my phone this way.
Plus, you have a flashlight if you need it.
Yeah, that's actually I used that on the Amanuensis once with Prospector Dave and I. We went a little too far into the woods, and it's without it. We would have been trying to hold our phone, and it's just like it's got everything in it already. It's just with this simple little thumb switch, and it's right there. It's real convenient. It's nice, and so far the only trouble I've had have been the USB. These little inserts here in the front. I've gone through 3 different types, and I'm trying to find one that's more reliable because they seem to only like brand new cords. So I tried a model that was $15 a piece. It wore out in about 3 months. The $25 model lasted about 6 months. So now we're at about the $30 model, and we'll see how long that one lasts. But once again, it makes the dang box more expensive just to have that USB that's more reliable. Because I use it myself, and I found it annoying that I have to have a pristine cable just to get that fast charging. So it's just because it comes with two USB-C ports and then two regular USB ports. The regular USB is fine, but the C ports apparently keep getting loose. So I don't want to be selling something that's going to have a problem.
Right. You want to put out a quality product.
Exactly.
Hello, Angelia. And Dot. I saw Dorothy Richardson in here.
Hey, everybody.
Dot.
Actually, say another key feature to the BB5 is going to be just having this simple fuse box right here. That everything before, which was kind of like a mess of wires in the box, so everything's going to be nicely hard mounted, and you'll be able to get to your fuses much easier if need be. So everything's supposed to be user friendly and durable. So
right.
Really why I haven't sold it yet, and why I'm already at the 5th model, which ironically the same thing with the sluices. I'm on the 5th model of that as well.
So what made you decide to make your YouTube channel?
That's actually kind of funny. A few of my friends suggested, like, why don't you record like the things that you do if you're always in the garage or building things. A lot of my friends have always known me as Boy Wonder when I was a kid and things like that, or Q. But so either way, my friend Maurice was just like, you should record. So I was sitting in my cousin's minivan waiting for him while he was tending to his children. And I just decided to post a video, and it got a decent amount of views for what I thought at the time. And so I just decided to keep posting. So instead of starting a new channel, I rechanged my name. That's why it says I started my channel in 2018. But either way, I just kept posting, and I don't know. I enjoy it now. It's been fun. It's been keeping me out of trouble, if you will. Keeps, and I don't know. I kind of like the schedule. It's gonna keep me in the role of getting things done and whatnot. And it is kind of fun being able to share the things that I build with people more than just the few people that I know.
Right.
And trying to solve problems. Like, ironically enough, box shovels are hard to find. So it'd be kind of cool to be the guy that makes them around here anyway.
Yeah, I have one. Remember how I commented about lifting it up higher?
Yeah.
And that one you had looked like the one you were testing worked really well. But mine don't have a top. Maybe I'll tack weld
That's
the
what I'm
top.
trying to get next is the top thing. It's just like, should I go for the top or should I do the kind of, so I need to get out and do some more welding. I got distracted putting my dirt bike back together the other day, so I haven't done the shovels yet. But
that's understandable because that, like you were talking about in one of your shorts, I saw getting it running. You could use it on some adventures.
yeah, that's also new to me. Like, I was always into mini bikes and things as a kid, but having a full size bike is new to me, and being an adult where I can legally put it on the road and like use it correctly and things like that is kind of nice. So yeah, I'd like to, hopefully, my idea is with the precious metals that I've saved, hopefully if silver comes back up, and with the sale of said shovels and things over this year, I'd like to buy a trailer so I could put the bike and equipment in, so I'd be able to travel to like Ohio to see you and Jeremy, and then go up to Minnesota and things and see the Flower Gold Lizard. But it would definitely help to have the trailer. So that's definitely coming next, hopefully.
Yeah, I need a trailer for my 4-inch dredge.
Yeah.
My truck bed's too short. I only have a 6-foot bed. It's too short. Too
Yeah, that's my
short.
thing. And I'd like to bring that bike around. Like getting back on that bike. It's just I put a lot of miles on that bike. It's fun. Like yeah, I put 70 miles on it yesterday. I went down. I luckily enough right down the street from my house. There's old railroad tracks that aren't being used anymore, so I could drive 4 towns down to where I used to grow up. I was hanging out with my friends there, having a good time. Ironically, I ran into this little kid that actually lives in the house that I used to live in. That was funny, but it's either way. The bike gets to go 75 to 80 miles at a time, and it's more than enough. It's a good like 4 hours of riding before you gotta charge it again. It's fun. I'd like to get that up in the woods in New Hampshire.
Right, right. There's a guy I know in the Motherlode. Motherlode. Oh, what's Jerry's channel name? Motherlode Gold Prospectors, I believe, his channel. Jerry, and some of his earlier stuff, he have his dirt bike and could have been a enduro, but has his bike, has a trailer he built that he puts his stuff in, and
That's
goes
awesome.
on trails all through the Sierras throughout the Motherlode.
That's what I'd like to get into. Like that bike, I currently have it registered, but I need to put lights on it and things. It's actually technically registered out of Montana because that was the easiest way of doing it. But um, I need to come up with headlights and blinkers for it, which shouldn't be a problem, I guess. But besides that, I'd like to get into some welding and make a rack for it, for like a bag and things, because it's one thing having a backpack, but once you start really getting into it, that all that weight's just going on your shoulders all day. I'd rather have it
And
mounted to the back of
then
the bike.
riding on a trail, it bouncing on you.
It
Whereas
wears on you quick.
if you have a good like tank bag for some stuff in your map, like when I had my KDX in Washington, I had a big old desert tank on it for plenty of gas. And I had a nice bag that would sit on my tank, had a window in it for my topo map.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
And oh, but stock that came with a running light and a headlight, even though it's more of a dirt
this
bike.
stock. Yeah, the stock that I have is the model before the headlines of 2023, so it doesn't have any lights on it at all. So so this one I have to put the lights on, but it does come with. I mean, the way the stock works is it has a phone as a dashboard, so you can put OnX right on the dashboard if you want and use that as maps or put Waze on it. It's pretty cool. Everything's
Adventure
controlled.
Prospecting
Things,
enjoys your channel, nice guys.
thanks, Adventure Prospecting. Yeah, that's kind of like the half of my channel is just gold, tech, and adventure is what we like to get into. More gold, more adventure. 2026. That's the goal.
Right. Joyce is wondering how much that weighs.
This here?
Talking about the battery or the cleanup sluice or both.
Well, this one right here. I mean, this is light as can be. This is an aluminum tiramisu pan, and this is 22 gauge aluminum diamond plate. You know, once it's at a fold, check it. That's that's nice and strong. So, I mean, but besides that, yeah, I can't say that's more than 2 pounds. Not even. It's very light. When it comes to these boxes, all of your weight is the battery. The box itself is not even half a pound, even with the electronics. So it just all depends on if you have like this model right now. I primarily use the 8 amp hour battery. That's probably maybe 3 pounds, maybe. I don't know. Not even. So yeah, fairly light.
Probably about that.
Everything I try to build is either plastic, aluminum, or the dreaded stainless, which I can't. I like stainless because it's stainless, but man, does it just, it's not fun to cut or They tend to snap. Like this model, just putting in these screws, I snapped one of the heads off because it got stuck in the riv nut behind it. So stainless isn't exactly my friend, but if you want something that will fit.
Pain to break, it's a pain to cut.
When used correctly, it's nice. But if if it doesn't go in there, you gotta take your time with the stainless and be friendly with it.
Right.
But yeah, the XP3 I absolutely loved. It came out way better than I expected, and it's just, I mean, not for nothing. I think it's a good looking little model to begin with, and it fits right in my backpack. And it's one thing I'd like to go up with on the dirt bike is that, and I'm trying to make a way to clip that into a 5-gallon bucket to make a recirculating sluice, so I can do some adventure prospecting in a way. But primarily, I guess its best use would be for cleaning up after a high banker. If you were on the river and wanted to do a cleanup on the river kind of thing, or even just using it at home as just a larger, fancier version of a cleanup buddy.
Down in your gold room or something, right?
Yeah, the Gold Room Lab Lounge.
Now, what type of prospecting do you enjoy most?
I think I would primarily enjoy hard rocks the most. It's just like I'm like technically trying to get into it around here, you could say. But once again, even to see the gold, I would have to smelt and get into that. But yeah, I would like to primarily get into hard rock. But I've never even crossed the Mississippi in my life, so going out west is always it's a dream, but that takes a lot of funding. Right.
Oh, yeah. Hard rock's a big investment, but there's a couple of guys from New England that seems to be getting more into hard rock stuff. What is it? Mountain prospecting, MTN prospecting. I believe they're out of Vermont or New Hampshire. Vermont, I think.
I'd like to find some silver, honestly. As much as I really like the gold, I've heard that there are quite a few silver mines around the Mass area, and I'd like to find enough silver to primarily make my own ring out of it with with the gold that I find and some gems like garnets and things. I just think that'd be pretty cool to try to make your own ring out of stuff that you found. But so on that topic, either way, I know that there's definitely places you could hard rock for some silver around Massachusetts. Finding enough to make a ring, I have no idea. I haven't done that research yet, but we'll be looking into that.
You never know. The problem with east of the Mississippi, everything's private and out of.
Yeah, exactly.
We have no BLM land or in our national forest land. It's so regulated compared to out west.
Yeah, it's like recently, the shorts I've been putting up with the road cut videos. It's like I'm right up against the Blue Hills of Massachusetts, which is a state park, or even might be a federal park. I'm not sure, but it's just everything I want to look at is in a park. So I'm just like, that's why I'm looking at the road cuts, because that 30 feet worth of land, that's state land, not the park technically. So I can look at those road cuts. But like in between the highway, there's the section of the river from where I presume some gold might be coming.
You have that easement,
Yeah.
So.
I've been trying to find all these slivers of land between all these parks around my area, but it's hard to find. It's just like you said, everything's owned around here.
Heath, you've been having a lot of mouse holes on lately. It seems a bit fishy to this New York.
I can't even deny that title. I went to school just south of Boston, not in South Boston. I'm not going to claim that, but just south of Boston. So yeah.
oh, come on. My last week's, oh, well, last week was Andrew Ozzy. I had two Ozzies in a row, you know, and but on the 10th was Scott. He's from Vermont. What you talking about? So I'm missing New England, Heath. I'll get back there one of these days. I promise you, my friend. Heath does a lot of digging up in Vermont, and but he's gonna be at the spring rendezvous too in Bath. So
Yeah, looking forward to it. Hoping the weather holds out. It's always a questionable time of year for the weather.
Joy says, not all of us are massholes in Bass.
Yeah, it's nowadays. It's usually only when I'm driving that I become a masshole.
Believe me, Joy, for all my Massachusetts friends, even my youngest baby, he's a masshole, and I love him to death. So, love all my masshole friends. Oh yeah, super chat. Thank you, Terry, for the $14.99 Australian super chat. I better give you the whole 9 yards, huh, Terry? Here you go.
Oh yeah, super chat.
9 yards. 9 yards of 50 cal, right?
Right. Oh, get back to my cheat sheet. Oh, tonight, guys, don't let me forget about the sticker pack giveaway, because I forgot on my panning dirt and mail call video live stream the other night. But I have two tonight to make up for it. You just got to be here to claim it and be active in that chat room, lurkers.
I'll have to get your address set so I can send you some stickers anyway. Throw one in the background.
Oh, yeah. Can put one back there on there. Yeah. We'll I'll do a sticker trade with you. No doubt.
Sounds good.
So you were saying you liked, well, okay, I passed this up. Now, where did Gneiss guys come from? Now, I know that's a geological spelling of the Gneiss.
It primarily came from watching Jeff Williams, and he just kept saying nice, and then it would spell it out in the bottom, and I was just like, I thought it was a funny word. And then when I started the channel, ironically enough, at first I thought "you guys" was going to be something new, just to come find out that that's totally, either way, anything to do with gold AU or gold this or gold that seemed to be taken, anything kind of clever. So nice just kept coming back in my head. So I just kind of went with it.
Now, with Gneiss, I kind of took it for granted that you had an interest in geology to begin with.
That as well, yeah. I mean, Gneiss is kind of a cool rock. It's primarily found as the oldest rock on the planet. I mean, if everything that's been not carbon dated, but they call it like phenocryst, I think, the little tiny crystals, the way they do dating or whatever, the oldest rocks on the planet have found to be Gneiss. So either way, I mean, it's kind of interesting.
Well,
The oldest rocks in the country are in the northern peninsula of Michigan. What do they call that upper peninsula part there?
Yeah.
But
well, there's some really old rocks. Personally, all rocks old. Even if it comes out of a volcano, it's being
it's always
renewed.
recycled anyway. Exactly. Yeah.
It's been renewed old rock, but like the Appalachia is a real old formation. And
Yeah, most people don't realize even before Pangea, there was a different. I forget exactly what it was called. It's something with an L, but like where Peru is in the west side of South America was up against Appalachia, and then it was Africa, and then they pulled away. Like that was 220 million years ago is when Africa said peace and kind of started moving away, and then predominantly around 440 million years ago, the Blue Hills used to be a volcanic area all the way up through the White Mountains. That's where most of your load or anything was coming from. But that was
right.
like that was the crashing period 440 million years ago, and about 220 million years ago, things separated, and then
Well, I
just in
believe they
time's
said
sake,
there were like already 3 supercontinents.
yeah,
Uh, 2 before Pangea, Pangea being the later of the
was
3.
the last, yeah, exactly. It's
Just
interesting if you actually look just even on Google Maps, you can see like collapsed calderas all the way from Massachusetts all the way up into Canada in a dead straight line. All the perfect circles all the way through. It's pretty cool.
check that out on LiDAR.
Exactly. Looking at the lidar, they're so predominantly perfect circles all the way up into Canada.
Well, you kind of got into what kind of terrain you usually hunt in. You want to get into hard rock, right?
Yeah,
So,
this year predominantly is probably going to be more focused into getting out and doing more exploratory prospecting and like into the woods, the White Mountains, and things like that. Um, Hopefully, with time and funding, and if my vehicle could survive, I'd like to drive out west and try some hard rock kind of things, or even just metal detecting in general out west. But yeah,
now, do you spend a lot of your winters researching for your next season?
absolutely, yeah. I've been spending a lot of time trying to figure out. That's why I watch a lot of Adam Samako videos because he gives a lot of pinpointers, especially for the area. And a lot of times he'll bring up his own Google Maps, and you can see all his little favorite dots. And just screenshot that, and
Right.
yeah, he's
Adam,
very well documented what he does. So, it's very easy to go from there.
Adam does his homework. Ranch, good seeing you, John. Well, we're halfway through the show, Adam. Let's take a quick break
Sure.
so you could use the restroom. So I'm an old man. Let me use the restroom and grab a couple of hits on my cigarette because I don't smoke during the show. Even though I do smoke, I try not to smoke during this show.
Moderation's key with everything.
But I do have a 2 minute and 11-second intermission. Please stick around, everybody, because there'll be more with Adam here, and we'll just continue the great conversation I'm enjoying having with this guy.
Yeah, I got a couple things I'd like to talk about. Other things I want to build coming up. So yeah, we'll talk about that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Now, for all of you out there, what do you want? Do you want a little rockabilly or do you want a little bit of rock and roll?
$1 million man. Definitely.
$1 million question for the audience. Rock and roll or rockabilly? Running out of what? Rock, rock, rock. Okay, the rock's got it. If I can find it, there it is. We'll
What
be
kind of rock
right
is it?
back. Huh?
I said, what kind of rock? Is it nice? As a
It is
geological joke.
good.
Sorry.
It's more metamorphic.
Ah, gotcha.
We'll be back in 2 minutes and 11 seconds. Stick around.
Take a break, but don't go far. Gold fever's burning like a shooting star. Grab a snack, stretch it out. Still more stories to talk about. Shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high. Treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, Hangout Live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold. From lost mines to rivers wide, prospectors digging side by side. Old time stories, brand new finds. Gold and treasure, history shines. Shovels in the dirt, pickaxes high. Treasures waiting, reach for the sky. Tuesday night, Hangout Live, don't go away. We'll be back real soon, there's more to say. Legends of gold, secrets untold. The hunt's not over, there's more to unfold.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you like the music. So, what other? I used to have a show many years ago. I called In the Shed with Ed, where I made a dredge out of water softener tanks, PVC and wood core frame, a truck bed liner sluice box. Worked really good, actually.
And those softener tanks must have been pretty big. The fiberglass tanks you're talking about?
I used smaller ones for a 2-inch, and I used really big ones for a car wash for my 4-inch.
Nice.
The big ones were heavy, but they were.
Yeah, we just replaced them at the house. I know what you're talking about.
But the other ones, you know, they stand up to about yay, and they float really good, you know.
Yeah, it's enclosed air bladder pretty much, right?
Pardon?
It's pretty much just an air bladder in those things, right? Something like that.
No, not in the. It's the water softener tank. They'd have like salt in them and stuff.
Oh, that one. Okay, I thought you were talking about the fiberglass tank next to it, like the pressure regulating tank there. What they call those things?
Oh, no, it's fiberglass, but it wasn't a pressure tank. It's what the water would go through.
Yeah, I get you now.
So, but it worked pretty good.
Yeah, expansion tank. That's what I was thinking of. You're talking about the actual cylinder itself. I was thinking about the expansion. Yeah.
Hurry up, Josh. We'll still be here. Get her done. Oh, my bucket's loose. The nugget. What I call that thing? the bucket's loose, I think. The bucket header. But it was a square bucket that had a mat in the bottom and a grizzly and spray bar, and you could use it standalone or fit it right into your sluice to create a high banker out of it. So, that's from years and years and years ago. Worked great too. Thanks, Stephen. I like it. I still got mine out in the shed. I made a couple of fluid bed sluices and all kinds of stuff.
I'd like to get into that. Yeah.
That's why your do-it-yourself stuff caught my eye, because I liked it. Getting the thought, gathering the stuff I wanted to use. Being in construction, I would bring stuff home, and Judy says, "You're a hoarder," and I'm like, "No, I think I can use this later."
Yeah. I think it's funny. I was actually using relays to build that sluicing table the other day that I've had since high school. So that's like 20 something years ago. I just say I've held on to them. I finally got to use them.
Welcome back, Tom, Josh, and congratulations on the 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
Now, how do you decide where to prospect a new area?
How do I decide?
Yeah.
Usually, basically from just general research for where people have started, and then I've been trying to find mostly the glacial maps of where glaciers ended and where they kind of bounced, like what hillside they would have been bouncing off as, like primarily the White Mountains of New Hampshire, where actually a great example.
I know you have some geological maps of New England on your wall. And
So
topo maps.
This area here, the mountains are about this area. The glaciers, I guess, came down. So most of your glacial gold is going to be up against what would be the west side of the mountains, I guess.
Right.
So I've been trying to look at the terrain maps and the LiDAR maps that defines old riverbeds that aren't exactly used anymore, but might have been like 1,000 years ago when most of the glaciers started melting away. Because like most of the Connecticut River Valley that splits Vermont and New Hampshire, that actually used to be a mega lake. I forget this roughly how many years ago. So there's a lot of tributaries off of there that are dry now that would primarily still have glacial gold in it. That say in the springtime might have a little stream going through it, kind of thing. So it's just either way. Basically, been using LiDAR and known knowledge of where gold might be. Like I'm trying to find the Ammonoosuc River is primarily the wild Ammonoosuc in the Bath is primarily glacial gold. So I'm trying to figure out from where the Ammonoosuc goes, what hillside primarily is that coming from? Because the Ammonoosuc is very consistent every year with a decent amount of float gold or glacial gold. So it's got to be coming from somewhere specific, I would think, that's just kind of leaching it down from the hillside into the. So I'm trying to narrow that down.
You know, we always get to this, Terry. Terry's a Lightning Ridge Australian opal miner and gold prospector. Our friend from the land down under. But
anywhere in the world, I would say Tasmania or New Zealand. There's a guy that I follow online. I can't exactly remember the name. Tansman or something like that. Either way, he's out in Tasmania. And he finds,
Levi?
What is it?
Levi? Would Levi be his name? Tazzy Boys.
Tazzy Boy. Exactly. Yeah.
Levi. Yeah. Yeah.
Find some amazing things out there. I mean, that's real, like, epic wilderness. You gotta be in good shape and whatnot just to get there. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Him and what is it, Lodak? Rob Peterson do quite amazing job at sniping in Tasmania.
Yeah.
I want to go all over.
That's where I got the idea for those battery-powered air pumps, is watching the Tazzy Boys for sniping.
Oh,
Actually,
Parson. Yeah, Rob Parson. Yeah.
that's actually an idea I'm actually going around with, is just building my own air pump for us for sniping.
You could do it. You're pretty hands-on, crafty type,
It comes from my father, I guess. My father was a control or he's still around, but he was known as Overkill Al, or Total Control, because he was a control wiring guy. So I kind of got everything from him. So, done some fun things.
Put a safety vest on Rob. No need to get ran over when you run. Must be talking to them in there. Our friend Heath from New York. New Yorker. So, before the break, you were talking about some upcoming projects.
Yeah. I'm not afraid to share my projects. It's like, I'm not concerned with making money or anything like that. But I got a few next ideas is, I've noticed a lot of people that sluice, or I actually haven't really done much sluicing myself, but I noticed a common problem is just setting up the dang sluice, trying to get the right angle and trying to get it to not float away, throwing a big rock on top of it, stuff like that. So I got this thing that I haven't released on video yet, but I call it Header Mate. Nice guy crossing Header Mate, or Handyman Header Mate, which is basically a frame that would, because of the V at the end of your sluice box, kind of catches it, but it has a lip that it can't float up and over. So you'd be able to basically set this H frame into the ground, put 2 pins in it in the river, so that H frame isn't going to go, and you'd be able to set the level at the top and lock in the sluice at the top, and then down the bottom would be a separate H with 2 separate long rods that you just tap in, and basically I call it the header mate. But at the top, you would have 2 walls that you can either deflect in or out to adjust your water height, kind of like a simple dam, if you will. And then the whole thing would just kind of fold up into a little flat unit.
Okay.
So basically,
so instead of a flare, you'd have 2 wings.
well, you would
adjust, right?
Yeah, you'd have your whole sluice, and this separate unit. Your separate unit would, your sluice would basically just sit into the separate unit that has adjusting wings into it. So you'd have,
so the H thing that you stick in would have the wings on it.
Exactly. So that is your, instead of stacking the rocks and trying to get the right flow and all the rest, you can adjust those in and out, get the right amount of water level, and so that in itself will have an adjustment to bring your sluice up and down, prevent it from floating over and stuff like that. So in a way, in low water situations, you won't be sitting there playing with rocks with all the water sifting through the rocks. You'd have yourself the nice diverting flaps, and then everything will fold together nice and flat.
Josh wants to know if you could say 4, please.
4.
Come on, Josh. Don't give the New Englander a hard time.
I had someone laughing the other day when I said tweezers or tweezers.
I just found a new species of possums that are like the drop bears, huh? sorry, getting carried away with the chat.
Hmm.
So that's just a brainchild right now, or have you put it into practical use yet? Make it.
Right at the moment, I just haven't put it together. I have a few pieces. It's basically just some square aluminum, and off of the square aluminum are some stainless hinges that have your flaps. So basically, there is 4 hollow half-inch rods that are aluminum. Each one of those half-inch rods have their own steel pin that you hammer in. So the steel pin is going to be the length of the rod, so that holds it into place. So you put your flaps where you want it. And then in the middle H, there's going to be a channel on either side where you can adjust the height of where the sluice is going to be. And then with a separate H down the ends of the sluice, you'll be able to lock in the bottom half of the sluice. So it's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, I'll have that together in good time. Trying to do that before the rendezvous. But I've been thinking about that one for a while, just because I always just watch people. I mean, it seems to be an issue. It just, it's not really an issue, but it's just a pain in the butt to set up the sluice. I'd rather just throw something in, the sluice down, and call it done. And then basically have the ease of adjustment as well.
You think you'd prefer that over legs that you attach to your box?
Yes, just because you're always trying to fight with the terrain of getting it level, and then with just the the shift of one rock, the whole thing could just keel over. Different water flow pushes it over, whatever. I'd rather have the thing locked in exactly where I want it, especially if I'm going to be there for hours sluicing anyway. You might as well make sure the thing's not going to be moving. And I can't stand seeing the 20-pound boulder just sitting on top trying to make it sit right, and the thing, it's sitting to one side or whatever. It's the name of the game to get that thing set up the way you want it.
Or the water flowing around it finally eats it enough where it starts, like you were saying, starts tilting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just think, with some 12 to 14-inch rods, with say a rod that's 12 inches even longer than that you can just bang through. You basically just lock it into the ground and be able to just clip your sluice right into it and call it done.
That's right, David. Once you're set up, you're set up.
Exactly.
Like I use a rod like a spud for my dredge quite a bit, especially for my old dredge. I would just hammer in a spud, boom,
exactly.
Boom, and
you also
found anchors.
Yeah, and I also found that even just if you get there early in the morning, the water flow is different by noontime. Like with the melting dew at certain times of the year, you're gonna increase an inch, 2 inches, and you got just having the ease of like 2 cotter pins or a couple of wing nuts. It's just a simple adjustment instead of all right, now we're gonna find a more flat rock to stick underneath there, and now it's sitting like this or whatever. I don't want to deal with that. And if making it out of aluminum, it's light. You can fold it all together, and it probably would be cheap. I would think. I say that about everything, and then it adds up. But
right. Projects can do that.
It's like the shovels, man. Holy cow! It's just. I thought that was gonna be it is simple, but so far it's just the welding takes time. There's even just prepping the shovels. The shovels are painted. I need to remove the paint and weld. Basically, clamp everything, weld everything, then finish sand everything, and then I need to use some kind of tea tree oil or linseed oil to treat the metal, because I don't want to paint things, because if you're going to be using it in the river, you don't want the paint's just going to come right off again anyway. So the metal needs to be treated. But there's so many little steps to make the shovel correct, and not just something I sold and then 10 months down the line it falls apart. Just I don't want to be the guy that just sold crap to sell crap. I want to actually help. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Right.
But yeah, getting more into that. I keep finding things getting more and more expensive, trying to make things the right way. But hopefully my friend Prospector Dave up there in New York talking with this guy that has a metal shop, if he can cut out those metal sunglasses things that basically fit in the back of the shovel for us, that saves me over an hour realistically from every shovel if I can just basically lock some pieces together and call it done.
Right.
We're getting there.
Tack them together and do your final welds then, instead of having to cut that out, because unless you have a plasma cutter, you know, you're cutting it with a grinder.
Exactly. He's water cutter apparently, and it's like I can do it. I have a nice bandsaw that I can cut things with. And it's just like I don't mind if it's like a little off, but it's just like if I'm going to be selling things, you know, I don't want things to just be rough cut just because I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, and with his water jet cutter, you know, he just programs it in and cuts you a bunch out of one sheet.
Exactly.
And you have those pieces already.
So that's what it's funny. Prospector Day, right before we went on, my friend up and he's up in the Adirondacks at the moment. That's where the shop is. So he's been talking with that guy all day. So basically, after I get off the phone here, I need to make a final template, mail it out to him, and then we'll be able to find out specifically when we can get those. Hopefully by next week. He's saying 4 days once he gets the template. So things are looking good for the rendezvous. I'd like to get at least 10 small shovels, 10 big shovels ready for the rendezvous at least.
You said you've been into prospecting like you have been for roughly over a year now?
Yeah, I first tried using it, like the first time I ever used the pan was last June. Or it might have been the last week of May, but yeah, I think it was last June.
Nothing's ever the same once you find your first wild gold, huh?
Yeah, I think it's funny. I've had these little pans that I bought probably close to 10 years ago off of just like this random eBay kit that came with like the little snuffer metal detector kind of thing. But either way, I had that as a coin and key dish for years on my desk, and I finally dusted that off last year and used it for the first time. It's just like I forgot I even had them. I was actually prospecting for about a month, and I just realized the thing I kept putting my keys was a pan. I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a pan.
I got a pan. What's been your best gold find yet?
Best gold find yet. Well, the end of the last time I went to the Ammonoosuc last year, Prospector Dave and I were watching someone else kind of make it pretty much dredging out like a whole section of the river going up the river for like 3 days straight. We were watching this guy just work his way up the river. And we were working in a different spot. We found a couple flakes, but nothing really consistent. So the last day on the way up, we noticed he wasn't there anymore for that full day. So we decided to just take a couple test pans right at the end of what he was doing. And we found more gold than we found all year just in that test pan. So it's just like, all right, this guy clearly knew what he was doing. So basically my last pan last year was like the best one. It was like a weighable amount of gold in a pan. So I was going from questionable even being able to get my scale to tick on each time to this one last pan was actually weighable. So yeah. So far for gold wise, besides when we were in Rumford, Maine, digging underneath the Memorial Bridge, there's a bunch of big potholes there. It's not on necessarily a gold bearing river. The Swift River up the street has glacial gold, but we wanted to give it a shot just because the potholes were deeper than they're taller than I am. They were there for obviously hundreds of thousands of years, or whatever, or thousands of years at least. But either way, we found a few coins down there from the 20s and 30s and 40s that had, under the microscope, you could see that there was gold stuck to it and plated to it and things. So I don't know if it was some kind of electroplating or some kind of, just being in those potholes forever, just stamping it in there. But that was kind of cool.
Adventure Prospecting, wondering if you have experience in machining or tool making.
No. My experience with metalworking started in about 2004. My dad got me just a regular Lincoln Electric used welder, for like $200 for Christmas, because I was really into Orange County choppers at the time. That was my thing. I wanted to make my own motorcycles. But so yeah, since that's pretty much it. I went to school for automotive. I've done electrical my whole life. That's pretty much what I've done, electrical and HVAC. But my father being into control wiring and my love for wanting to make motorcycles have just it's basically brought all those tools together. So no, I don't have any basic schooling for anything specifically, but through wanting to build mini bikes and things, yeah, that's pretty much where my machining goes, I guess.
Right on. And being in HVAC, you definitely have some tin knocking experience, huh?
Yeah. Primarily, I like to let other guys do the tin knocking part of it. I mean, I'll set up the unit and things like that, but yeah, no, like running the ductwork and things. No, we're usually just control wiring, replacing the unit, or doing the whole freon thing, or change the condenser outside, something like that. But I wouldn't want to do a full install. Not fun. They always want it done in the summertime.
Right,
That's
right.
always a fun one when my father and I show up and we put the sprinklers on the roof to cool down the roof if we're working on the roof in the summertime. And you always see the neighbors like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, we're trying to get the house to grow, trying to make a second floor." But you'd be surprised how much you can bring down the temperature of an attic by putting the sprinkler up there for an hour.
Right, I bet.
And speaking of sprinkler, the rooftop, and just to explain my overkill father, Al, when we were kids, we had run 1.25-inch black hose up and down the roof of the house, and there was like a couple 100 feet of it to heat the pool in the backyard, and it brought it up a good 20. The pool stayed at a good 85 all the time. It was nice.
I did that with the black hose, long
Yeah,
100 construction hose I used on my shed's roof on the western exposure. Because my roof is only eastern exposure or western exposure, but
yeah,
all
we were
the
lucky enough the sun came the other way.
afternoon sun hit it all day, and it
It makes a
worked.
difference. Oh yeah.
Nice solar heating. Seeing what these people are saying in our live chat. We got sprinklers on our roofs for brush fires.
Yeah, that'll
And
make a difference.
they have them out west for fires too. I'm not sure what they're talking about. Crazy people. Um, Now, what video are you most proud of?
I was proud of. Um,
Tough question, huh?
yeah, nothing really specifically, I guess. I mean, the video quality is starting to get better. I'm starting to get better with the editing. It's more or less. Um, I keep treating the video as like homework. I keep it's just like instead of like pacing myself throughout the week and making a video, it's always just like I need to make a video today kind of thing. So if I could just get better with not procrastinating and actually putting more time into the quality of the video, yeah, I think that'd make things better. But I would.
But do you want to get into more like having a storyboard for yourself that would like, okay, here's the setup, here's the build up, here's the solution, here's the ending.
Yeah, some aspect.
Even with your building.
Yeah. I think it's basically the biggest thing is just trying to get all these different little angles, especially when it's just me around. It's just making a video when you're just standing in front of the camera and the camera angle doesn't change very often. It's just it seems stagnant, and no matter what you're doing, it just doesn't. It just like most. I've noticed that most big channel like we're talking like the super big channels with millions of subscribers, whatever. The camera angle is focusing every 5 to 10 seconds, but primarily every 6 seconds. It's always changing no matter what. It keeps your attention going. So if you're not moving, even if you're just moving around in the background, that's not enough. You need this angle to go back to that angle. I'd like to get more into that kind of thing. Keep the attention going. And not just be standing there trying to hold the camera and you can kind of see what's over my shoulder kind of thing. So that's another idea that I've been working on, is what I'm calling my sky cam, which is basically just like in football. You got a camera hanging from a wire that you can control with a remote. I basically, just so I could have that follow me around the basement as I walk. That'd be just kind of cool to hit with a remote. Because at the moment I have these pipes on the ceiling here that my camera hangs from, and I just slide the camera back and forth as I need it at the moment. But the first time I used that, I didn't notice until I posted the video that once the HVAC kicked on, the camera started going like this. So in the beginning of the video, it looks like so I'm gonna work on that.
Start getting seasick watching it. Oh.
So I'm thinking about trying to make like a mini roller coaster track with some kind of like little bearings. So basically several wheels that hold it in place with 2 tracks, so it can't swivel. And then I'd have some kind of cable system going through a double loop, so you can just have one motor to pull it back and forth. But
yeah, so kind of want to have a inverted track camera up there.
Yeah, basically, just like even with, I'm not really into digital controls. I can't stand doing code or typing with a keyboard, but I'm hoping by using like a proximity sensor to like a car, when you get the backup thing, beep, 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 beep kind of thing, just that same signal, instead of sending that signal to a light or a speaker to beep, just make the camera move. So if I step towards the camera, it keeps backing up and it keeps the same distance no matter how I get to it. It sounds ridiculous, but it's actually rather simple. So that's what I
can see it if you have the right sensors and stuff.
Yeah. So basically, just have one sensor that's trying to keep the camera away, and then if I walk too far away, it tries to find me, kind of thing.
Right.
So,
interesting. Who's here don't have Ed stickers? I don't know. Speaking of that, Heath, did you get your new sticker pack? Did the wooden nickel make it this time? Better have. You don't have any stickers, Sam? Gotta fix that.
Yeah, I got
your address, Sam.
I got this fridge of wonder here that I slid in from my kitchen that I need some stickers for.
There you go. We'll get you some stickers, Adam. I'll throw in some other channel stickers too.
That'd be great. I got to post up. I finally have a PO box for the channel, so I can finally put that on the channel.
Oh, you don't have my new one. You'll get it.
Yeah, I'll email you mine and vice versa.
Do that, Adam. And Sam, message me and give me the address for your Vane Mountain address. I'll get you a wooden nickel, Brian. I got your address. Oh, you're coming to Fossick, Sam? Cool. Nice. Now, where do you see your channel this time next year?
hopefully a lot more expanded. I'd like to, this time next year, I would like to be expanding into going out west. I think this year is primarily going to be focused on building the channel, primarily making sure I have a good tow vehicle, somehow coming up with the funds to buy a nice 6 or 8x10 trailer that I can get the bike into and equipment. Because as well as the gold thing, I'd like to go around and I'd like to, there's mini bike races and stuff that I'd like to get into and things. Because the channel it's gold, tech, gold, and adventure. So it's more or less going to be, more prospecting, more adventure, even mini bike racing in a way. It's just kind of odd to throw that in there, but basically using my prospecting vehicles in races would be fun as well. I'd like to get into that. So that's by next year, I'd like to hopefully have a trailer, more equipment, and hopefully have the funds and means to basically just bring more fun, gold, tech, and adventure to the masses, I guess.
Right.
It's just not exactly trying to build anything in general. It's kind of a new me. It's just, long story short, it's just like I wasn't really doing that great with my life until like the last year or two. So the channel is kind of like a new me and just being a nice guy. I guess, you know what I mean? So hopefully by next year, I'd like to be able to expand in that kind of way, like bring it further across the country, hopefully do more collabs with bigger YouTubers and get into some hard rock mining out west and go from there, I guess.
Yeah, I can't wait till I get to retirement. Hopefully fuel won't kill me.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue. I'm driving a 2008. I'd be lucky if I get 12 miles a gallon without the trailer.
Yeah, we pretty much want to be a little more nomadic and be able to snowboard bird in like Arizona, the Carolinas and
Yeah.
stuff. Come back here, see our family here, or we might end up being centralized in like Tennessee and be able to spread out from there.
Yeah.
Terry, uh, didn't the last pack I sent you took 3 months? But this one's gonna take longer because I haven't even mailed it out yet, Terry.
So,
I've been waiting. My job's killing me right now with driving and stuff. So that one I have to take in, especially going to Australia. I can't just put it in my mailbox and send it out like I can with some of the states. Sorry, brother. It'll get to you, I swear. It will get to you one day, unless a mailman in Australia steals it or customs takes it. I don't have poker chips, Joyce. I got wooden nickels that I make with my laser engraver. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
I need to play with my engraver because I haven't played with it for a while because I made a whole bunch of shit. Beep. And then I put it away for a little bit. But there's one with the
That's pretty
little
cool.
state of Ohio on it. I know I'm small right now, so I'll make myself equal size of you so you could see it better. But
That's not good. That's not bad. Can you do metal with that, or is that just like a balsam wood kind of thing only?
it's like the lowest voltage I had on my laser, so I can't do metal with mine. I tried. because I was redoing a steel. There's a company here that makes ambulances, Braun, and the forklift drivers were terrible, and they chewed up a whole side of the building that we had to replace. Then we put barriers in front of it, guardrail, and then we liner paneled the whole inside of this one room. But they had all kinds of these aluminum cutouts
Oh yeah.
from their laser jet.
Oh, that's
And
yeah.
it had a nub on it where it would cut it.
Yeah.
There was a little nub on it that I had to grind off with my grinder here and shape it. But I made a few, and I wanted to make some stuff out of these.
Yeah, if I got coins or something.
I'd have to spend like 5 times more for the laser head to do what
Like
I
a slower
want.
speed.
A stronger laser.
Oh, okay.
Because it burns this fine. Even on high, it won't do nothing to this.
Gotcha.
Right now, I wouldn't mind a CNC machine either, but
That'd be nice. That would be awesome.
my account, I might be living in the doghouse, and if I end up living in the doghouse, I'm gonna have to build it because we don't have a doghouse. But I thought about it, and then I thought about just cheating and getting an 1.5 inch sticker and just put a sticker on it. But
Make a pog out of it from the 90s.
play with stuff. Was playing with my laser engraver for a little, but I went with the cheap one to learn it more.
Yeah.
So, and learn the program for it.
That is cool to have, though. You can make your own signage, whatever you want.
I'm not sure what's the watts.
Probably 1100.
I can't even see it. But it's a low one, Heath. I need something a lot more powerful to be able to etch metal.
Yeah. That is cool, though. I mean,
yeah, I've been playing with that, and Terry has a couple he'll be getting. I've sent a few out. They got broken. Like Heath, from New York, I sent him a new one, and I put it in a plastic hard case, Heath, so it shouldn't break this time, unless the post office really abuses it. So. Yours, Scott, is a little folding portable piece of beep. That's right, David. Baby stuff. I don't know what the watts is. I'll look and send you a message, Heath. But it's not much. It's like the lowest one that I could get that would do anything at the moment. Wow.
Oh, that's small.
Time's
I thought
flying.
like a microwave.
Here, I'm gonna share a screen. I'm gonna send you some already, so you're good, Adam. All right, you guys who are regulars here, you know the routine. Once the name's up, you have a minute to claim it. I'll be giving away 2 today. And these I'll mail out wherever. It isn't like my Prospector's Dream, a sponsored giveaway at the first of the month where it's US only. Okay. There we go. Got the timer ready. Brian. What? Which is Mr. What you saying? Heath, Mr. Lodak deleted your stuff. You must be cussing in my live chat. All right. Good luck, good luck, good luck, as Charlie would say. Adventure prospecting. Adventure prospecting. Are you in the house? Are you in the house? And timer's set. You have a minute to claim it. There he is. Yeah, sweet. Congratulations, Adventure Prospecting. There's my email address. flashinyourpan@gmail.com. Send me your mailing address. Now, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Here's what you got. We have one that, if you were here before, this was going to be given away exclusively at Rose Nose Monkey Fest, but Rose and Monkey canceled, so now I'm giving them away to you. This is my new channel sticker. Here's one from another New Englander, Jeffrey Button.
Oh, yeah. Not Jeffrey.
Our friend and my birthday twin, Autism Mary Magnet Fishing out of Michigan. Then one from Mr. Creek Drops himself, Calvin, over at the Modern Michigan Prospector. Then we have this one guy who likes putting a lot of numbers in my chat and tells people, call in. Our friend Brian Wilder, American Gold Prospectors. Then we have James, the Master of None. He's from Minnesota or Wisconsin, somewhere up there. Then we have our friend from New York, Megadog 555. Hey, Brad, how you doing, Rocky Mountain Live Prospector? Then my friend from Canada, Frank, with Looters 8. Then you get 3 different sizes of my previous channel sticker right there, kind of like Russian dolls that stacked together. I had 4 sizes, but I'm missing one now. So that's what you get. Adventure prospecting. Let me put your name on the envelope.
Absolutely.
And that'd be kind of like what I'd send you, Adam. So you'll not only get my channel stickers, you'll get a few other channel stickers too.
So I got a full fridge to cover.
There you go. Hey, it can get covered up quick. All right. Now I'll wait to see who gets this one and show you then. You're more than welcome. Adventure prospecting. All right. Ready? Good luck to all of you. Who's it going to be? Hey, I saw a lurker in there. American Gold Prospector. Oh, Northern Bound was in there too? Hey, Frank, are you still here, Frank? Nugget Brain Wayne Peterson in the house. Oh, yeah, numbers work. I have your address. Love the lurkers, you bet ya. Northern Bound, you have 33 seconds. 30 seconds. Sometimes it can be so hard to give away stickers. Five, four, three, two, one. I don't see. Right. 22 wins. You got Brewer, Jeff Bro. Brian, I'm giving you shit. I'll send you some, but I think you already have a few. Let me know if you do. Rocky Mountain Live Prospecting. Robert, are you in here? All right, I'm starting the clock. Hope you're doing well, Nugget Brain Wayne Peterson. I'm doing good, he says. "23 seconds. I'm not seeing them.
Oh yeah, third time's a charm.
I'll send you a wooden nickel, Brian. I said that. I have your address. Okay, well, Robert from Rocky Mountain Live Prospecting is no longer in here too. It's amazing how many people you miss. Who's chatting? Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting as Pause, Search and Rescue, or Pause Rescue something. I did a show on it. They board dogs for vets and stuff who are overseas and stuff. A lot of cool stuff. 8-3 Sky Warriors on the board. James Culver is really involved with it from Culver Prospecting. All right, third time's the charm. Hey, Mike, how you doing? DB, are you still in the house? Sam wants your hoodie.
That's one thing I actually need help with is finding hoodies. In Boston, it cost me $60 to have this hoodie made, which is absolutely ridiculous when the Flower Gold Wizard can sell his for $40 shipped. So if anyone knows where to have hoodies made, please let me know.
There's some sites that will print to order, like Spreadsheet or Teespring and some others. But
Yeah, locally it's just typical Boston prices. Yeah, they wanted 50 for this, and then another $10 just to put the logo down the side, and then if they wanted it any bigger, it was $15 more. I had a few made, but I need to look into that.
DB, are you here? You were.
I'll have to get. Yeah, Sam's dream. Somehow you have to get in contact with me. My email. My email should be on my page. I don't think actually it isn't. I will post my email on my page right after this. Actually, I can grab my phone and do that now. I'm going to add my email to my description. If anyone could help me out with someone that knows how to do the sweatshirts, that would be great.
All right. Well,
I'd like to specifically.
Fourth time's the charm, right, Heath? Next. I meant it looks like a nice, comfy hoodie. Adam, what's YNA? Looking also with shipping if you are looking elsewhere.
What does that mean? I think I missed something.
Me too. All right, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Terry Marshall, you got one coming to you already. I'll add more to it. Sam, there you go, Sam. Are you in the room, Sam? Are you in the room? Adam, if you're looking somewhere else, it might cost you more in shipping.
Yeah, I'm interested to find out how the Flower Gold Wizard and the Glacial Gold Hunter, they get theirs shipped out for $40. And it's the same quality pretty much. Like the Flower Gold Wizard. Same thing. It's actually nicer quality.
There you go, Sam. Congratulations. Just have to send me your address. That way I could get you some stickers. Brian, I'll send you some wooden nickels, brother. Yeah, I know. Adam's emails right there.
I am posting my email and my new PO box underneath my description on the page if anyone's interested.
I can, Sam. No problem. Yeah, Jason the Mason, the Flower Gold Wizard. I have a shirt and hoodie somewhere. I think they're upstairs.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I can't wait to meet him this year. I'd like to go to one of his meetups. I'm planning to.
I had the pleasure of hanging out with the Flower Gold Wizard a couple years ago, and our friend Mike Pung up on the south shore of Lake Superior.
That would be cool. I've never even, like I said, the furthest west I've ever gone was Nashville, Tennessee, which is just technically over the next time zone. Actually, a fun story. Most of the 90s throughout the 2000s, I grew up traveling the East Coast with my parents because they were both professional paintball players. So that was my life as a kid. My mother was the #1 women's paintball player from I think 96 to 2000 or 2001, something like that. She used to get paid and fly all over the world to play paintball. It was funny.
Speedball?
Paintball with guns.
Speedball or woods? Woodball? Woodsball or speedball?
Oh, it was both. Like she primarily, if she would get caught in her later career, she got called out to Toronto Sky Dome to do the speedball with an all-women's team, the Iron Maidens. But
cool.
they were actually good enough in the early '90s that the New England Patriots, for whatever reason, called them in the Bridgewater field that they were running, and my parents got to play against the Patriots. And while Teddy Bruschi was still a new player or a rookie at the time, my mother got to bunker him a few times. That was funny, but they wouldn't let Drew Bledsoe play.
I used to have an action sporting goods store called the Danger Zone.
The Danger Zone. That's cool.
And even though I'm a certified snowboard and ski tech through Vermont Safety, and I'm an airsmith through Tippmann paintballs.
Oh yeah, I remember the Tippmann 98 came out. That was a big change, and they came out with the flatline barrel to make a curve around the corners. That was cool.
Yeah, I had what was my barrel? It was porcelain. Made in Ohio.
His guns, the autocockers, I believe.
That's all. I only used Tippmann. My old team were all Tippmann.
Yeah.
But we did no speedball whatsoever. It was all Woodsball or Mill Sim.
It was fun. It was funny. That day, my parents actually had a team with Kevin Weeks. I don't know if that Whitey Bulger's right hand man, the hitman there. Either way, I guess the guy Whitey Bulger, the infamous mobster from Boston, his guy used to play paintball that my parents would play paintball with. So who would have thought that a hitman would be good at paintball?
Who'd think, right? I kind of liked it because we would scrimmage with the team from Elida, and like 3 of them were cops.
Oh yeah.
Shit,
It's good training.
it's a blast when you can run around and shoot cops in the woods and get away with it. So,
Yeah.
Swiftwater Tony in the house. How you doing?
90s. Yeah, Cocker 90s. Yeah, the autococker that someone just mentioned that was the fun gun back in the day before they got nuts with all the electronic controls. My dad used to hand make those. Had a nice big ram on the back, had a nice knock to it. Kind of like a Hemi. It's got a good sound.
I've seen them. I think I had one in my store for a while, but I didn't cater much to speedballers.
When we were young as kids, my father had his own chronograph. He'd shoot it out the back window to test his guns. He'd put masks on my brother and I. We'd run around the backyard and test his new guns. I learned very quickly not to move.
Right.
My brother always wanted to be the strong one. I wasn't moving.
Johnny Small Pepper, thanks for hanging out, my man. Take care, brother. Swiftwater with me and Y Gold are here. Rob, Scott, good seeing you, brother. Hope Lisa had a good birthday. We're about that time. Unfortunately, I gotta wake up wicked early in the morning. Adam, it was great having you on, man.
Yeah, it was a blast. I appreciate the opportunity. This was fun.
Yeah, we'll have to get you on in a year or two. I promised David Villa that I'll be doing this show for 10 years at least. So I still have a couple more years. So
Hey, what to do? 1 year checkup. See how things are going.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Next week is Open Line Tuesday, where you could get whatever the guys from the Matt Cave will send you. I don't know. Could be a venture sluice, could be a pocket sluice. It could be one of these little eye bankers, or it could even be a keychain sluice. But they'll send you something. 10 to 1. I'm sure it's going to be this guy, one of these guys right here. So
those things actually work. It's funny.
They do.
I think it's funny when I ordered mine, it came in a box that said empty box.
I got my setup right here where I can run dirt right here.
I was hoping. I haven't been on a plane in say 25 years. I was hoping to join the Mile High Club in the bathroom with one of those sluicing.
Oh, that'd be funny. We want to see it on video.
I'm hoping to do that. That'd be fun. It's another thing I'd like to get into is once the weather gets good, I'm going to introduce scenic sluicing either a Saturday or Sundays. Just getting out to like somewhere nice to do some, even if it's just running pay dirt. You know, bringing the XP3 out somewhere to like the top of the Blue Hills, Mount Washington, Cape Cod, whatever. Something with a nice background. Bring grandma out. Do something nice.
Do it at the witch's grave on the island.
Oh yeah, what they call that? Like 100 step beach or something like that. Something like that. I forget. Used to be East Point where they had the Nike nuclear missiles there back in the 70s.
Oh yeah.
That was our intermediate nuclear ballistic missile defense was there, not for taking out cities, but for taking out Russian bombers, I guess.
On the island?
Yeah, that whole island has underground tunnels and bases, and people actually own the old flak towers there for shooting down the planes and things. They're like 50-foot towers people have in their backyards. They're pretty cool. The Northeastern University took over all the underground workings. They use it for some kind of marine school now.
Wow.
called East Point. Yeah, Nike missile site.
That isn't a real big island either.
No, it's rather small. It's arguably the smallest town in Massachusetts. They go back and forth from some other town. It's like they fight between the amount of people and landmass, but it's one of the two.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
And yeah, it's rather cool. The only annoying thing about Nahant, though, there's no public parking. If you want to visit that beach, you have to be a Nahant resident. But,
Okay. A guy we used to play hockey with, Jeff Primes, from his family's from Nahant. So,
yeah, real nice area. I used to love going to the restaurant there, the Tides, right on the water.
My good friend Mark Moran, I was telling you about, from Lynn, the guy I got in a fight with the first time we met, that we became really good friends.
Sounds like a guy from Lynn.
A good friend of ours, Jeff Prime, lives out he's from Nahant. He lives in Long Beach, California now, I think. Or at least he was. But I think he got back into coaching hockey or something. So it's hard telling where Jeff is now. Thanks again for joining us, Adam. I need to cut it short. I gotta wake up at 4:30. So,
yeah, I hear you.
All you out there, I hope I catch you next week for Open Line Tuesday. And we have some good guests lined up for April. We have Tom and Chris joining us from Midwest Gold Fever, along with Calvin, the Modern Michigan Prospector, and the fifth episode in the series with Andrew Smith, Modern Gold Mining Methods. That should be really good.
Cool.
Looking forward to it. After party on Zoom with our friend Mr. Lodak from Prospectors Radio with Swiftwater Tony, Wide Gold, Tim Grimes, Rich Cooley, Mr. Lodak, and sometimes showing off his pokey cards, Dennis Dayton, every Sunday night at 7:30 here on YouTube. And you could catch us over at goldprospectorspace.com for watch parties on Friday nights where we hang out with all kinds of cool people watching Gold Rush, Mine Rescue, and what the guys from Risky Rewards are doing in Alaska. Everybody, until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you know what I like to say, because it does happen. Maybe one day too, all will meet you on the river. Good night, everybody.
Take it easy, everyone.
Love you all. Love my lurkers. We're out of here.
Tuesday night Hangout Live. We've had our fun. The battery was strong, the night's been won. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Tuesday night Hangout Live is for all of you. FlashFam forever. We'll keep the vibe. Catch us next time. Let's keep
Night
it
comes to a
live.
close. We're feeling great. FlashFam is together. And
Whenever it feels just right. The wonderful guests, good times are so much fun. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will turn very soon. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fantastic time. Camaraderie is strong, and we're built to last. Time next time, we look forward to seeing you again. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will be back soon. Give us a like. Don't say goodbye. Just see you later. FlashFam forever. Until we meet again.